and welcome into the off season. We are up here at Hallis Hall this week because it is the start of rookie minicamp, and this week we are joined by the Athletics' Kevin Fishbain. We just watched the first practice, and we're kind of joking because we're like, oh, what were your observations? And there's just not much going on the field. Austin Reed is the quarterback. Colston Loveland's off to the sidelines as he's rehabbing back from shoulder surgery. But I guess as you're kind of taking everything in, what are you looking at over the next 3 days?
One thing about rookie minicamp is you see a pretty wide gap in talent, right? Mm-hmm. Because you have Luther Burden, Ozzie Trapillo, Shamar Turner, these second-round picks, and you have these rookie minicamp tryout guys who, unfortunately, probably never going to play football again, or big-time football again. This is their one chance to try to make the team. So you have these second-round picks who are going to look extra fast, extra big and strong out there against some of these players. And it's a great opportunity for them to kind of get used to the style of practice and get used to the coaching staff and what they need to do, because when the veterans come in, then they're not going to be the fastest and the strongest guys out there. So I was kind of, you want to watch the draft picks, you want to just see how they look and how they move. So it was kind of fun to see Luther Burden out there a little bit, see Shamar Turner.
Looking at it big picture wise, Ozzie Trapillo is going to be a huge storyline this entire offseason. Ryan Poles said he's going to get reps at left tackle. We know Braxton Jones is coming back from ankle surgery. We don't know if Karan Amagaji is going to be ready to play left tackle if Braxton Jones isn't ready to go. You hear him talk about, he played it in his first season at Boston College, then he moved to the right side, but always trying to stay ready if he did have to flip sides. What were your takeaways from his approach to his opportunity come this offseason?
Yeah, that was really interesting the way he explained, the live reps are so important. He's taken so many live reps at right tackle, so it's going to be interesting for him to get those live reps at left tackle as well, just to get used to it. I was thinking back, Cassie, 3 years ago, Braxton Jones used OTAs and minicamp to kind of win the left tackle job before pads even came on. When they got to training camp, he was the guy already as a fifth-round pick out of Southern Utah. So now you have Ozzie Trapillo, who's a second-round pick from Boston College. He's got this opportunity with no pads to show in the classroom, to show on the field that he has what it takes to maybe win that job.
You mentioned Luther Burden's name. He's an interesting person to hear him speak because he's so confident in himself. And when I was talking to Mizzou head coach Eli Drinkwitz, he's like, this guy often gets misconstrued for being a little bit of an ego guy because he's an introvert deep down. So maybe he's just quiet in nature. But he talked about everyone getting their first day jitters out. He's like, I don't get nervous. I don't have first day jitters. So I do love the quiet confidence that he carries himself with. And he talked about going into a room of wide receivers, a ton of weapons with DJ Moore and Rome Odunze. Where do you see him fitting into that mix?
Yeah, going back to what I said about Ozzie, if you're a second round pick, ideally you're out there day one. You're out there week one, and if you're Luther Burden, you are the slot receiver with Rome Odunze on the outside, and DJ Moore is so versatile. I mean, you can line him up anywhere. So I do think it gives Ben Johnson, Declan Doyle, and Antoine Randall a lot of flexibility. But he's fast, good route runner, catches everything thrown his way. I'm very excited to watch it because we talk about what you can see in this time of year. You can notice the wide receivers. You can notice how fast somebody is and how crisp they are with their routes. So, I mean, when you look at his talent and his production, there's a possibility that Luther Burden might be like the best value pick of this draft. If you look at this 3, 4, or 5 years from now, there's a possibility that we find out why he dropped to the second round. But still, it's the second round. We talk about this drop, and I understand and I get that he's got this big chip on his shoulder and he wants to use it as motivation. I like that. I like the personality for that position because the thing is, when you're a rookie and he's going to face these cornerbacks that are veterans, and they're going to make life difficult for him. So it's important for him to have that confidence.
When it comes to Colston Loveland, there's only so much you can evaluate with him as he's coming back from surgery right now, off to the sidelines. He said he's in the weight room doing just about everything except for lifting that heavy weight. But Ben Johnson said that tight end is the toughest position to learn on offense outside of quarterback. So a lot of it's mental reps right now. Is there any concern for you, though, of him not being able to be on the field, getting those practice reps, even if they are limited in nature of what you can see?
I'm not too concerned. There's a reason he was the number 10 pick. Like, he's going to pick up this stuff pretty quickly, and I think he's going to be a very skilled player on the field. And they have Cole Kmet. Like that was one of the luxuries the Bears had. People called it a luxury pick. Yeah, the luxury is Colston Loveland does not have to be ready to go today or tomorrow or the first day of OTAs, first day of minicamp.
Kyle Monangai, a lot of people rave about this guy, but he was a 7th round pick, and I don't know if he's the complement to DeAndre Swift in the backfield. Do you believe that he is or can be, or are they going to have to go out and find someone else, or is it Roschon Johnson?
Okay, I'm trying to be really careful with Kyle Monangai and balance that he is a 7th round pick.
Yeah.
I have never heard more praise about a 7th round pick than I have with him. Just from talking to scouts, and coaches, like when, going through all the draft picks, like when I got to him, I'm not expecting to hear like a 7th round pick, but he was really good at Rutgers. He was really productive. I had somebody, call him like a David Montgomery light. That's a very, very high bar, and we want to always be careful. I do think that there is an opportunity for him to be the perfect complement to DeAndre Swift. I'm of the belief that they don't need to bring in somebody right now. I mean, I would like to see them play it out a little bit with Swift.
Every offseason, we're all guilty of buying into all the hype, especially when there's a new head coach and everyone's talking about energy. It's never been this way inside the building. You're laughing. Like, how do you balance, feeling the newness of all of that while also like trusting your eyes and what you see and what you know about the history of this team as you go into an offseason?
Cassie, this building is beating me down a little bit. Like, this is my.
But you're ready to come back for another rookie minicamp.
Listen, I think it's my 12th rookie minicamp, and I'm just as excited just to see.
Right.
We spent this entire time. I've talked up all these guys. Ozzie Trapilla could be your day one left tackle, and Kyle Monunga is going to be the next David Montgomery. So no, I mean that's the fun of the sport that we cover. It's fun to see these rookies and kind of think about how they can fit in and how this can work. I do think that. I've made a lot of comparisons to 2018. I want to be very careful because that was a great year. They went 12-4. But new coach taking over a team that's got a veteran defense with a second-year quarterback, and you added major pieces on offense in the offseason. There's a lot of synergy between those two things. So I do think that it's okay to be excited. I never want to tell a Bears fan not to be excited. Like I get it and I feel it, and I think because you have this quarterback that has this just ridiculous ceiling that we didn't come close to seeing last year, I think it's totally okay to talk yourself into all these different pieces fitting. And
schedule comes out on Wednesday. I think last time I checked, the Bears, the over-under was set at 8.5 wins. So given the fact that you are drinking the Kool-Aid, are you going over or under?
I'm going over by saying they're going 9-8.
That's what I said too. I'm like, right? It's not like a 12-win season.
The ball just has to go through the uprights. Doesn't matter how it goes through the uprights. Unfortunately, Bears fans know that well. But yeah, I'll say 9 wins. It's funny though when you look at that schedule and you go game by game by game.
It's tough.
And I'm curious to see how they're structured again, because the NFL seemed to like putting all those division opponents late in the season. If the Bears do that again, or if the NFL does that again, and you can see games with the Lions and the Packers and the Vikings in December, and some of those games are at home, maybe that gives the Bears a little bit of an edge against some of the top teams on their schedule. But yeah, it's hard to find 9 wins when you look at their opponents, but we really don't know. So yeah, I'll hit the over there with 9.
I'm with you right there, but we'll see how this shakes out. It would be fun to have the season start in Philly though. On Thursday Night Football.
That would be very cool. I'd be curious to see if the Bears haven't done well when they've had to play the first game of late, but yeah, that would be a cool experience.
All right, Kevin Fishbain, thanks for coming on the offseason. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Still to come, we have more from Bears alumni on their reaction to the NFL draft and a special discussion with a Wheaton North high school coach who got a special opportunity with the Bucs. Stay with us. Jerry, first let's start with you and just talk about what we're doing here today.
So this is with the United and Metropolitan Family Services, and we're just providing kits, hygiene kits for underprivileged people. So it's such a great event that we're able to do this and really provide for the community.
And you're on the Metropolitan Family Services Board. Just what do they do in the community and how much does it affect?
I mean, they've been around for a very long time, and they do a magnitude of different things within the community. So it's been a pleasure. I've been on the board for a couple of years now and met some fantastic people in the community, and it's been a great organization.
Izzy, why is it important for you to be here today?
I think, everyone has so much going on in life. Life's not easy for a lot of folks, but for the volunteers today to take their time to give and support folks that are going through some hard things, to write special handwritten notes to say, hey, we love you, we're here for you, stay strong. It's just a great partnership between the Bears, United, Good 360, Metropolitan Family Services, and just folks who want to support Chicago.
All right, it's also a busy time for the Bears. They wrap up the draft. Let's get your initial thoughts. What do you think, Jerry?
I like the pick. I think it's a luxury pick. I think it's something that Ben Johnson is going to get his hands on with the brand new Loveland wide receiver / tight end. So I think it's a good thing for the Chicago Bears. It's another weapon for Caleb Williams as well. Ben Johnson loves 12 personnel, so we'll see a lot of action on the football field. It's a brand new Chicago Bear team, and I'm really excited to see what they do this season.
Is he surprised they didn't prioritize the trenches in that first round?
Absolutely. I think the game, as we all know, is won and lost in the trenches.
Look at the Super Bowl.
Won and lost in the trenches. But I think it always comes down to when they put on the helmets, strap up the chin straps, preseason starts and when the games get live, right? We'll be watching to see just how people step up, who shines, who are the gems, and that's for me the best part of the year.
What do you guys think of the Ben Johnson hire? Like, you're watching it from a distance and you're like, dang, we really got the number one guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for him. He has a great track record. He has a lot of different ideas and philosophies and things like that. And we've seen what he's able to do with the talent with Detroit. So the fact that we got him, I'm really ecstatic about that. I'm really excited that this team has basically been revamped, and he's going to bring his knowledge and his expertise to the Chicago Bears and see if we can get some wins, because we need to stack some wins.
What do you think Dennis Allen can do for this defense, given that there are a ton of really good pieces on the defensive side, and maybe a new coach with that aggressive philosophy can be the key to unleashing that a little bit more?
Yeah, I think defensively we look good, right? There's now an opportunity to come in from the outside, analyze where we can get a little bit better, bring some fresh blood, fresh energy. We got some great pieces defensively as well, and for the defense to take another step just to being the defense we all expect them to be, and they showed flashes of that over the coming seasons, but we're really looking for them to continue to just be dominant.
What do you think of Grady Jarrett?
I mean, he's a stud. He's an absolute stud.
He's a beast.
Yeah,
for sure.
What about Kyler Gordon? They extend him?
You know what? I think it's very great that they extended him. I mean, he is a pillar of this team. He's also a hard-hitting type of a guy, too, that's going to be covering the third wide receiver. So I really like the fact that they sewed him up. We need guys like that on the football team, and I think that he's going to be tremendous this season.
Jalen Johnson said he thinks he's going to shadow the number one receivers this year. As a former DB, like, what kind of energy does that give you, knowing that they're going to lock in on being that lockdown corner?
Well, I think that's why he's here. He wants to be that shutdown corner, and he has a lot that he doesn't necessarily have to prove, but it's all about wins now, and it's all about going out there and being aggressive on defense and taking away their number one wide receivers, and he's definitely the type of person that will take on that challenge.
What should the expectation be for Caleb Williams?
The expectations for Caleb Williams. Well, they're going to be high. Let's just face it. It's going to be high. We want to see some wins. 10 losses in a row hurt. It hurt. It hurt a lot of people. It hurt a lot of Chicago Bear fans. So it starts with one, though. Once they get that first one established, I feel like they'll start to get rolling. But sky's the limit for Caleb. I mean, they've given him all the weapons in the world, and they just have to kind of bring it together. The one main thing is that it's always about time, and we just don't have time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully they can put it all together soon.
Well, and I think he's on a team, right? He doesn't have to put it on his back every play and go for use what's available. Take what the defense is giving you. You don't have to always go for big shots on the field. And I think just settling down into his second year, a sense of calm and peace, and just now understanding what the game is all about. Also knowing that now folks have film on him, right? There's also going to be additional changes that teams are going to make, and he's got to be prepared to see defenses handle him differently.
The division does them no favors, really, at this point. Where do you think, if you were to guess, we're now, 6 months out from the start of the season, where do they fall?
I mean, it's hard to guess. I mean, obviously, Detroit is the favorite. I mean, they are a Super Bowl contending organization. Along with the Packers, they're always going to be good, and they loaded up, too, in the draft as well. Then you have Minnesota that's just kind of hanging around there, too. So, they're always decent. The easiest way to get into the playoffs and then to the Super Bowl is basically through the division, and this is a very tough division right now. So they have their work cut out for them. I don't want to put a prediction out there right now, but
Detroit too.
Do you have a win total that you want to put out there?
I don't know.
No?
I would just say we expect a winning season from the Chicago Bears.
Let's end with that. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Still to come, a Wheaton North High School football coach gets a chance of a lifetime to learn from the Tampa Bay Bucs. Our discussion with Ashleigh Wilkinson-McQuaid when we come back on the Offseason. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Offseason. Super exciting now for this new guest, Ashleigh Wilkinson-McQuaid. She is the defensive backs coach at Wheaton North High School, but she has an incredible opportunity this week down in Tampa. She is with the Buccaneers, joining them for their coaching academy, one of 25 coaches who got the invite, and just working out with these rookies and everything like that. So Ashleigh, welcome to the Offseason. First off, congratulations. How has this week been for you working in an NFL setting?
Hi, thanks. Well, first, thanks for having me. And it's hard to describe this week. It's been amazing. It's intense, but in the best way. And it's one of those things where I kind of forget where I am sometimes because we're just doing football. But then at the end of the day, I'm like, holy moly, I just did a full day of, NFL practice or working with Tampa Bay coaches. So it's unreal. It's been an amazing opportunity.
What was it like for you to hear that you are one of the select few that gets to go down to Tampa and work with NFL coaches? Todd Bowles, won a Super Bowl not too long ago,
Yeah.
and several legendary coaches in a franchise that's very well known.
I'm not exaggerating when I said I think I just went into shock. Like I didn't know how. I got the email. I was at work when I got the email. I was at Wheaton North High School and I was in the library because I work in the library right now. I get the email notification on the computer. I'm thinking it's something from a teacher or a student, whatever. I open it up, I read it, and then as soon as I finish reading it, a student comes in and needs my help. So I had to push everything down that I had just read to fix their problem. And as soon as they walked out of the library, I walked down to find the head coach who wrote my letter of rec. And I was like, you will not believe what I just got. I just showed him the email. I couldn't verbalize what I was feeling. I was kind of just in shock.
So I was reading this about you. You are an assistant librarian at Wheaton North as
Yeah.
well, right? So
Yeah.
how do you go from that being your daytime job to being a defensive backs coach for the football team as well? How did you pair those two together?
Well, my uncle likes to joke that I'm the weirdest football coach he's ever met. Because in college I graduated with a French and sport admin degree. So two things that seemingly don't go
Yes.
together. I'm currently in school to get a teaching license for teaching French. So I love languages. I love reading. When I'm not coaching, I'm normally reading. It's my way of decompressing. So since being in Wheaton North, I have jobs in the school to be on the same schedule as the athletes and the coaches, so I can get out to practice, I can do film, I can be present when I need to. So at the end of last year, I was working as a permanent sub, and I got kind of tipped off from one of my coworkers. They're like, "Hey, they're hiring in the library," and I was like, "I love books, I love the students. Why not?" So I've been working in the library for the past year, and it's been really fun to pair those two together.
I love that. Well, you obviously love football too. What sparked your joy and love for the game at a young age?
I've always loved to compete. It doesn't matter what it was. I played soccer growing up, competing with my sister in the backyard. We played together. I mean, my family game nights are unreal. I wouldn't invite someone who I didn't think could handle it. Let's just put it that way. It gets really intense. So I've always been drawn to the competitive aspect of football. I love the high intensity nature of it. I love what it brings out of people and that collaborative experience in the community that is birthed from it. And so I didn't have opportunities growing up to participate in football. So when I got to Louisville and I was able to join the program first as a recruiting assistant and then moving up to coaching, I was like, I'm never leaving this. Like, no matter what it is, if I am a youth football coach for the rest of my life or I get an opportunity to work in professional football, I am a football coach. And it's been very fulfilling for me to find that path.
It's pretty incredible just to see more women getting the opportunity to get into coaching as well. I know you were a part of the Women's Forum
Mm-hmm.
down in Indy, which is always an incredible event to hear and see the growth and also the buy-in from all the different organizations. You think about coaches, Lori Locust, we're here at Hallis Hall right now. Ashton Washington is a
Mm-hmm.
total boss in this building. And there's more women now than ever. What have been the things that you've picked up on from your conversation with other women across the league throughout those different events that get you energized for what the future could be for yourself and for other women who want to get into football?
I think for me, one, that just being a part of that community, period. So when I found out that I was getting invited to the Women's Forum, I was so excited. I'd heard about it, I'd kind of seen it from the outside. So when I got that email, I could not wait to get down there. And those 2 days, I'm so grateful for Sam Rapport, who started the forum, and all of those coaches who came before me and other industry members who came before me who kind of set the stage to allow us to be a part of that and have those conversations. I mean, someone I knew from the forum is kind of the reason why I applied for this in the first place. So I'm extremely grateful for that space. And then from there, I think it's just seeing that we know it's not perfect and we still have a long way to go. But I think each day I'm finding new people who aren't having to have these conversations, if that makes sense. Because that's the goal at the end of the day. It's we have to talk about it now because it's relevant and we're not where we need to be. But the goal is that no one is ever going to have to ask me that question. No one's going to have to ask you that question working in sports. That's the goal. So finding more and more people who are speaking out and just doing their thing and just being treated as a coach or being treated as a journalist or just being treated as an owner. I mean, being here and seeing Darcy do everything she's doing. She's been in all of our sessions, and she's come up and talked to me to give me advice about, hey, put yourself out there, do this, do that. That is invaluable to me. And I think that is what encourages me the most, is that we know it's going to be hard, and it's going to be harder for others. For me, I've been pretty lucky, and I know that's because other people came before me, did a lot of that hard work. So continue to do that and have those conversations is what makes me wake up every day and know I have space here. I take up valuable space.
I love that. What have been some of the things you've learned from coaching this week down with the Bucs?
So much. My notebook is so full. So much just with the X's and O's has been great. Learning how to. I've been working with Coach Ross in the cornerbacks room and Coach Rashad Johnson, and they've been so great. They let me tag along to everything. They let me ask them 3,000 questions, and I'm just taking lots of notes. So as far as X's and O's, it's been really cool to see how they break down film. How are they breaking down the pass game so we can kind of predict which routes we're going to get or where we should align, things that I haven't really been taught explicitly up until this point. So that I already know is going to grow like my coaching ability tenfold. And then on top of that, they're both great teachers. So just seeing them teach me and like kind of talk to me like I'm a player who's going to have to go do it out on the field has, even within 3 days, has prepped me so much more to now I can turn to the rookies and be like, oh, you need to do this or this or this, which on Monday probably wouldn't have been able to do confidently.
Yeah, spoken like a true coach is what I was gonna say. You sound the part already, and obviously this resume that you're building is quite incredible. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. I'm sure you're trying to be in the moment, stay where you are right now, but we all have lofty goals. So, what is the dream job for you?
I want to coordinate. I really do. I just love seeing how everything fits together, and I'm not there yet, but I really enjoy like starting on this journey of like, I have this weakness, how do I fix it? And getting to the point where I know that I can call a defense. And that's what I want, to establish a culture and, have all these great people around me and know that like I'm leading it and I'm doing it and I'm making these calls. That's my goal.
What would be your advice to other girls watching this right now who are like getting into flag football? Those opportunities weren't there for us when we were younger, but seeing that there is a space for them, what would you tell them?
Man, a lot of things. But I would say don't let anyone shut you down. Don't ever let anyone shut you down. If you're nervous about playing flag, but in your heart you really want to do it, go freaking do it, man. If someone's saying like, oh, it's not this or you're not, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Same thing. If you want to help manage your football team and like you have other people chirping in your ear, don't let them stop you. And like sometimes you're going to fail and sometimes people aren't going to give you the job, and that's okay. But never let that be the reason that you stop doing what you love, because that's what's going to matter in the long run, is if you did what you loved and you did it boldly, and everyone has the capacity to do that.
I love that. Ashleigh Wilkinson-McQuaid, we appreciate your time. Congratulations on getting the invite and being down in Tampa. Again, just one of 25 coaches selected to join their National Coaching Academy. And now we're going to be following you up at Wheaton North. So it's super exciting times.
Go Falcons,
for
man.
joining the offseason. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.
That's it for this week's episode of the Offseason. To catch full extended interviews, make sure to check out Fox Local or go to the Fox 32 YouTube page. We'll see you next week.